They said the family vacation was cancelled. I saw their photos, poolside cocktails, matching towels, even the dog and sunglasses. I texted. Seriously, even the dog. My sister's reply came instantly. Don't be dramatic. We took the dog instead of you. I stared at the screen, my fingers tightening around the phone. I hadn't even unpacked from the trip that invited me on. No big me to cover half of because it's a family thing and your family, right? I was family until I wasn't. Then another message popped up. Hey, can you send $400 for utilities? My jaw tightened. Memories crashed over me last Christmas when I paid for the entire dinner because mom forgot her wallet. My sister's bridal shower, where I was the one footing the bill for the venue because it's her big day. And she's so stressed. The time my brother's car broke down and I wired money without asking for it back. But this was different. This was a mockery, a taunt. I tied back my hand steady, my heart beat anything. But sure, I cancelled the transfer, then I blocked her number. Then I walked to my laptop, pulled up the lease agreement for our shared apartment, the one I paid most of the rent for, the one where she was trying to save up, and submitted a request to terminate it effective immediately. That night, 49 messages lit up my phone. Mark, why are you doing this? My sister, you're being dramatic. Just call me my mom. Bro, are you serious? I thought we were cool. My brother. I stared at the wall, the dark silence of my empty apartment, wrapping around me like a cold blanket. A part of me expected the old guilt to creep in, a familiar weight of obligation pressing on my chest, but it didn't. Instead, something else settled, a cold, sharp clarity. They had made their choice. Nice, they took the dog instead of me. The dog. My phone buzzed again, my mother's name lighting up the scurry. I let it ring out, then played the voicemail. Mark, honey, your sister is really upset. We didn't mean for this to become such a big thing. Just send the money and let's talk this out. Family helps each other, right? For family. That word was becoming a bitter joke. The next morning, I woke to another wave of messages. My sister had found out about the lease. Mark, what are you doing? You can't just terminate it without talking to me. Mark, this is insane. Where will I go? Mom said you're being childish. Fix this. I set the phone down, made myself coffee and stared at the empty chair across the table. For the first time, I didn't feel like the bad guy. I didn't feel guilty. I felt free because they didn't cancel the vacation, they cancelled me. And now I was done being their safety net. I watched the notifications on my phone climb. 49 messages, most of them were from my sister. A few for mom and just one from that. I didn't open any of them. I didn't need to. They were predictable: anger, guilt, manipulation. The same old script. My sister crying, begging me to fix it. Mom, her voice dripping with disappointment, saying I was overreacting. That single tax call me, what? Sort this out. Like they'd sorted me out of the family vacation, like they sorted my name of the lease and put the dog in my place. I tossed my phone on the kitchen counter, the glow of the screen a bitter reminder of every sacrifice I'd made for them, and for what to be replaced by a dog and sunglasses. But even now, part of me wanted to blame myself, to text them back, to hear them say I was being silly to believe even for a second. But they cared, but I didn't. Instead, I sank into the couch, a cold emptiness settling in my chest. Memories flooded back, a painful slideshow of every time I bailed them out. I used to think I was their hero. It started small, a few others here, a little help there, a family dinner where I picked up the bill because mom forgot her wallet, my sister's first car when her credit was too low to get a decent rate back. Then they were grateful, or at least they pretended to be. Mark, you're a lifesaver. Mom would sigh, wrapping me a hug that felt warm even if it lasted just a second. You law, I'll pay you back as soon as I can, my sister promised with a wide smile or hand already reaching for the case. But the repayments never came. The gratitude faded. The request grill, I became the go-to solution. Mom's emergency dentist bill, $300. My brother's urgent laptop repair, $600. My sister's, can you cover my share of the rent just this once, $900. At first I thought I was helping. Family helps family, right? That's what they always told me. But slowly helping became expected, a duty, my duty. And they didn't ask anymore, they just assumed. I still remember the first time I tried to say no. It was Dad calling me just before midnight. His voice was a little slurred, too much of his favorite bourbon. Hey kid. He began, trying to sound casual. Listen, I'm going a bit of a bind, need $1,500 to cover the mortgage, just a short-term thing. $1,500, I can't you just Mark, please? It's the house, your mother would be heartbroken. We could lose it. I heard her voice in the background, sharp and irritated. Don't make him feel guilty, just tell him it's his turn to help. His turn, my turn. I sent the money because what else could I do? I tried doctor them about it once to set some boundaries. I asked them to at least keep me updated before assuming I'd covered their messes. Mom's response was a sigh, a deep, world-weary sigh. We're family, Mark. Family doesn't keep score. Dad chuckled. You understand when you have your own kids. One day my sister texted me later, don't make this a big deal. It's just money. You make good money anyway. Yeah, I made good money. That's why I didn't deserve a seat at the table, right? Why was replaced by a dog in their vacation photos. But the worst was yet to come. Christmas last year I'd spent hours picking the perfect gifts, an expensive watch for dad, a luxury, the spa day for mom, and a brand new iPad for my sister. I thought it would be different, that maybe this time they'd see how much I cared. I was wrong. Dad opened the watch, glanced at it, and mumbled, "Nice, big, flashy, isn't it?" Mom didn't even unwrap the spa voucher, just set it aside with a polite smile. And my sister, she laughed, actually laughed. "Mark, you really are trying too hard," she grinned, turning to mom. "He thinks he can buy his way into the family by my way." And I excused myself, walked out into the freezing night air, and sat in my car, the engine off, my breath missing the windshield by my way. And that's when it hit me. They didn't see me as family. I wasn't a brother, a son. I was an ATM with a heartbeat. The final straw came a month later, my sister's wedding. I wasn't even in the wedding party, just a guest who paid for half the reception. I remember asking her about it, trying to smile, trying to be casual. "Hey, didn't you say I'd be a groom?" She shrugged. "Yeah, but we were tied on numbers." I thought you'd understand, tied on numbers. But not all my wallet. They were tied on everything except how much they could take for me. And then the vacation, the final insult, the family trip I paid for half of, only to be cut out at the last minute. The photos of them laughing by the pool, the dog lounging in the sun, his little sunglasses reflecting the sky. They chose the dog over me. I wasn't family, I was a convenience. But that was over. I reached for my phone, the screen still littered with missed messages. I deleted them all without reading. Then I opened my bag app, pulled up the recurring transfers I'd set for mom, for dad, for my sister. Cancelled. Then I logged into my email and typed the brief message to the landlord: request to terminate the lease immediately. I will not be responsible for further payments. I leaned back, staring at the empty apartment around me. The silence was thick, but for the first time in years, it didn't suffocate me, because I wasn't alone. I was finally alone, and that was better than being there, for better than being their wallet, better than being nothing. The next morning, I walked into the showroom, my steps steady, my face a mask of calm, but beneath the surface the echoes of yesterday lingered. Whisper glances followed me, a few colleagues at changed looks. I ignored them. I was here to work, not to explain, not to defend, just to move forward. But even as I got at a client through the smooth leather of a luxury interior, their voices haunted me. I stood beside the gleaming black McLaren, my voice calm and smooth, guiding the client through the luxury interior. The man's eyes lit up with the fascination as I demonstrated the adaptive suspension, the lightning-fast acceleration. In this place, I was in control, confident, respected, until the glass doors of the showroom burst open. "Mark," my mother's voice cut through the air like a knife. I froze, my perfect smile cracking for just a second. I turned. In there, they were my mother, red-faced and teary-eyed, my sister trailing behind, wiping her eyes, and my father storming. And with a scowl like thunder, the client blinked, surprised. Other customers and my colleagues turned, their polite conversations dying off, and to a tense silence. "This is not happening," I whispered to myself, forcing a steady breath. But it was. They were here. They had come to my workplace. My mother marched straight up to me, her voice sharp and trembling. "How could you do this to us? We are your family, Mom. This is not the place," I tried to whisper, stepping in front of the McLaren, trying to shield the scene from the client. "No," she screamed, her voice breaking. "You don't get to walk away. You blocked her sister, cancelled the lease, and left us with nothing. My sister's turn now. You abandoned us, Mark. We are struggling. Because of you are faced with with makeup tears smudged into black streaks." Dad stepped forward, his voice a growl. "We raised you, fed you, give you everything. In the how you repay us." I felt my jaw clench, the heat rising in my chest. But I kept my voice low. "We can discuss this somewhere else, not here." But they didn't care. "Somewhere else," my mother shrieked. "When, Mark? You won't answer our calls, won't text back, won't even talk to your sister. You're punishing us for what? For asking for help, for being a family." A few customers began to pull out their phones, whispering to each other. I saw one of my colleagues staring at me wide-eyed. "Please just step outside," I begged, the calm and my voice starting to crack. But my sister wasn't done. "You've always thought you were better than us, didn't you? Just because you have a good job, just because you make more money, you think you're above us." My father's voice was like steel. "You've really disappointed us, Mark. We should have never relied on you." And something snapped. I stepped forward, my voice rising, the professionalism I'd clung to crumbling. "Relied on me, relied on me? You didn't rely on me, yeah. You used me. I wasn't family to you. I was a wallet with legs." My mother gasped, her hand flying to her mouth. My sister shook her head, her tears turning to anger. "How dare you? We are your family. I left the sound cold and sharp, like on that vacation, the one you took without me, the one where you took the dog instead." My father's face twisted in confusion. "That's not the point, Mark." "Oh, it's exactly the point," I shouted. And I felt the whole showroom staring, phones recording. "I didn't care anymore. You took my money, my time, my kindness. And you laughed at me behind my back. You didn't just forget about me, you replaced me. We needed your help," my mother cried. "We needed you, Mark. We still do you need me, because you can't stand on your own, eh? I pay for your bills, your dinners, your trips, your lies I sacrificed for you. And you turn me into your joke, my sister's voice was a desperate, why now, Mark? Please, not like this, don't do this here, just help us, we don't mean it. I laughed again, bitter and raw. You don't mean it. That's the problem, isn't it? You never mean anything except when it comes to my money. My manager finally stepped forward, his voice of forced calm. Sir, is there a problem? I turned to him, breathing hard, trying to force a smile. Not anymore. They were just leaving. But my father stepped between me and the manager, his voice a low, venomous growl. Don't you dare turn your back on us, boy. You owe us. I leaned in, letting the rage twist my voice into I owe you. I've given you everything, and you took it without a second thought. But that's over. I looked at my mother, her eyes desperate, her cheeks stained with tears. You said family doesn't keep score, remember? Well, maybe. That's because I'm the only one who ever paid the price. My sister tried one last time, reaching for my arm. Please, Mark, just one last time, help us. I stepped back. One last time. No, the account is closed. My father raised a hand as if to grab me, but I didn't even flinch. Touch me, and we're done. Forever silence, thick, suffocating silence. My mother sobs were the only sound. My father's jaw tightened, and he turned, grabbing her by the arm. I'm on, let's go. My sister glared at me, her tear-filled eyes twisting with hatred. You'll regret this. You will. They stormed out, the glass door swinging shut behind them. The showroom was frozen, every face watching me, every phone still raised. I straightened my suit, forced a slow breath, and turned back to the client whose eyes were as wide as saucers. Sorry about that, I said, my voice perfectly calm again. Now about that McLaren, 3 years of warranty, full service, included. The fallout was immediate. My manager pulled me into his office the next morning, his expression a mix of pity and frustration. Mark, what happened yesterday? I kept my voice steady. A family issue. They showed up uninvited. He leaned back, rubbing his temples. Half the showroom site customers were recording it. It's all over social media. I didn't flinch. I understand, it won't happen again. He sighed, the tension easing slightly. Look, you're one of our best salesmen, but you need to keep your personal life out of this place. This is a luxury dealership, not a reality show. I nodded, understood, but as I stepped out of his office, I could feel the weight of the stairs. Conversations hushed whenever I walked by. Colleagues who once smiled and shouted now exchanged nervous glanced, as whispering as I passed. The receptionist, usually cheerful, looked away, pretending to be busy with her computer. And yet a strange calm settled over me. The embarrassment that should have scorched me, it didn't. For the first time, I wasn't the one hiding, pretending, or explaining. The had made a scene, not me. They had ripped open the truth for everyone to see. I was done being ashamed. Back home, I dropped my keys on the kitchen counter and stared at my phone. Messages still flooded in a constant stream of missed calls and voice notes. I set it on silent, grabbed a cold drink from the fridge, and sake into the worn leather of my couch. The silence was thick, pressing against my ears. What I welcomed it for the first time, there wasn't suffocating, it was honest. I opened my laptop, pulled up my banking app, and began scrolling through years of transactions, each one a small word. $300 for mom's emergency dental bill, $1,200 for dad's car repairs, $5,000 for my sister's once-in-a-lifetime trip she just had to take. I listed them all, every single dollar: rent payments, credit card bailouts, emergency funds, Christmas gifts that went on. Thank the list grew, the numbers piling higher, turning from hundreds to thousands. $34,600. I leaned back, staring at the cold and feeling digits. It was like looking at a crime scene. My phone buzzed to get a new message from Mom. Mark, please just call me. Let's talk. I ignored it. Instead, I opened the family group chat and attached a screenshot of the spreadsheet. A single message followed. This is what you owe me, $34,600. You have 30 days to pay it back. The response was immediate, frantic. Mom, Mark, what is this? You can't be serious, Dad. This is ridiculous. We're your family, sister. Where do you expect us to get that kind of money? I replied calmly. Figure it out. You always found money for vacations and designer bags. It's time to find it for your debts. The first week was chaos. Mom left me tearful voicemails, each more desperate than the last. Mark, please, we didn't mean to hurt you. Family isn't about money. Dad's tone was angrier, his voice a gravelly snarl. You're being unbelievably selfish. We raised you, and this is how you repay us. As demanding money like a loan shark. My sister's messages were a roller coaster of guilt and excuses. Please, Mark, we're struggling. I just lost my job. I can't pay this. How can you do this to us? We're your family. I didn't mean to hurt you. Please just talk to me. But I stayed silent. I didn't reply. I didn't pick up their calls. I let the chaos burn without me until one evening the doorbell rang. I opened to find my mother standing there holding a Tupperware of cookies. Her face was puffy from crying, her hair a tangled mess, her hands trembling. Mark, honey, please, can we talk? I didn't invite her in, just leaned against the or frame blocking her view of the apartment. Talk about what, Mom, the $34,600 you owe me. Her lower lip trembled. It's not fair, we're family, you can't put a price on laugh. I laughed a cold, bitter laugh. Love, is that what you call it? Because to me, it felt a lot like a transaction. I paid, and you smiled. I paid and you didn't care. Her voice rose desperate. We did care. We always cared, so much you replaced me with a dog on your vacation. I shot back, cared so much you laughed when I paid for everything, cared so much you never even tried to pay me back. For face twisted in a mix of shame and anger. It wasn't like that, Mark, you're making it sound so cruel. It was cruel, Mom. And now you have 30 days, or I'll take you to court. Her eyes widen, Paul washing over court. You wouldn't with your parents. I leaned forward, my voice cold. Then act like it. Or pay me back. I shut the door. Or days passed, silence settled like dust. I expected them to call the big. But nothing came, not until a week later, when my sister sent me a message. Mark, we saw the SUV, Wilson, the money tomorrow. I hope you're happy. The next day, a transfer hit my account, $34,600. But that isn't the. In another message followed this one, unexpected. Mark, I'm sorry, I know we treated you like a bag. I know we hurt you, I didn't want to admit it. But you were right, we're used to you. I'm sorry, I miss you. I stared at it, that flicker of bitterness burning inside. But it didn't hurt, not anymore. I didn't reply with the money back in my account. I did something I hadn't done in years. I booked the solo trip, a week in the mountains, away from the noise, the guilt, the manipulation. I hacked in the mornings, breathed the crisp air, felt the cold wind on my face. I met strangers who didn't know me as the families walking a TM1. As I sat by a crackling campfire, my phone buzzed. Another message from my sister. Mark, I know you hate us, but please don't hate me forever. I wish things were different this time. I replied, I don't hate you. I just stopped pretending that love is the same as exploitation. Silence. Hours passed. Then another text, I'm sorry, I mean it. I watched the fire deaths, the flames twisting and culling bright and wild in. For the first time in a long time, I felt alive. I leaned back, watching the stars stretch endlessly across the night sky, and I smiled. They were gone, their deaths were gone, their